Welcome to ELF Designs in Nature, Center 3 for Snow, Tracks, and Traces. Hello again. We are on Center 3, which is entitled Follow the Footprints. This would be a great activity for out in the hall because the kids are at the end of the center going to hop along or, well, I should say walk along, bound along, gallop along, or waddle along. Those are our 4 track patterns that we're going to really study in depth in this center. So again, the objective of the center is to learn how track patterns can help us identify the animals that made them. So you'll find all kinds of materials in the bin, which we'll go through. I've kind of put them in order, and that's how I would go through them if I was leading the center, kind of building the excitement. You know, we have a lot of paper materials for this unit, so try to keep the fun stuff at the end of each center so you keep their attention. So the first thing we're going to start with is just this track patterns diagram, and you're going to cover, again, the 4 major styles, which is walking or trotting, bounding, galloping, and waddling. There's 2 of these for your use. And then there's a big description of them. So as you're looking at that poster, you could go through the 4 primary gaits. So it gives a little bit of explanation. Waddlers, bounders, gallopers, and it says diagonal walkers, but you'll figure that out. So anyway, you can read these off, or you can have the kids read them so that they can kind of get these things into their head about the different gaits of animals. One thing that was kind of interesting back to this poster was kind of the different kinds of animals. Walking or trotting, canines, felines, ungulates. So you can explain that these are cows and deer and things like that. So that kind of gets it interesting. Keeps it interesting. Keeps it day to day for them. Then we call these track pattern charts. It's only got 3 on them. There's 4. They're all the same, but anyways, it's only got 3 patterns here, which is the walker, galloper, and bounder. It doesn't have the waddler, probably because those aren't too common in Colorado, like a porcupine. But anyways, this shows kind of the feet shape and the foot pattern that they do. Everybody's probably familiar with a rabbit, and quite a few of you are probably familiar with a dog. The difference between a dog and a feline is the dog you can see the claws, and the cat you of course can't. So those are in there in the track pattern charts. So once you discuss all these things and cover the other materials in the outline, we've got a nice color story that talks about kind of the anatomy of these feet. We have the lynx running through the snow, polar bear, mountain goat, rabbit. It's kind of a cool picture here of the rabbit. It kind of shows how their patterns form because it looks backwards when you look at a rabbit. The front feet, the big back feet are in front of the small front feet. Blah, easy for me to say. Yeah, and then it talks about a moose. And this one's nice because it covers tracks and the snow. So once you get done with all that kind of background materials, I would take only like 5 minutes for that at the most. We have these cards with tracks and gaits. And you could talk about the pattern, and then we have a little picture of which animal is making that pattern and which gait it's called. So this is a walker. On the back it says it's a bobcat, and it goes through how it walks. So you can go through these all quick if you want, or you could pick out kind of the Colorado animals. This looks to be a beaver. Give the information on the back, skunk, etc. So there's 11 of these that you can go through if you have time. They're pretty interesting just because they bring awareness again to the kids about how different things walk. Now these next 2 activities, you're kind of going to have to decide which one you would rather do and which one you have more time for. These are animal track rubbing plates. So this is where you need to peel some crayons and have paper at the ready. It might be best for you to pick out 4 or 6 or 8 of these depending on how many kids are in your centers. Tape them to the desk. There's tape in the bin, and then the kids can go around and rub these plate diagrams, and it has a big paw, which shape their track is in, and then which animal made it. So maybe you want to just pick, like I said, however many kids are in your center, maybe 6, tape them down to a desk or table, and then have the kids kind of buzz around real quick and do these rubbing plates. It's a great thing for kids to take home. Of course, we like the free advertising for ELF. Make sure that you collect all those and give them to the teacher at your end of ELF session. Don't have the kids go put them in their backpacks because that creates chaos. The other activity is the one we said you need a lot of room for. We have felt tracks, and you're going to lay them out on the floor, and you're going to let the kids and encourage the kids to be that animal and to try to walk like these creatures. So we have a waddling bear, We have a waddling raccoon, a bounding weasel, and a galloping rabbit. So I will put out the easiest one for demonstration. This is going to be our raccoon, and he's a waddler. So it's kind of an alternating foot pattern. Make sure I'm doing it right. And we got big ones and little ones. So big, little, big, little. They're kind of hard to distinguish, but on the diagram it shows that on a waddling pattern we have a big foot, little foot, because they're going side to side. So here's their front feet. The littler ones are front feet, and the bigger ones are back feet. So if you want to spread them out, you can have the kids try to do this themselves. You know, oh, whoops, that's a front foot. So I gotta go, oh, I'm not very good at waddling. So as you can see, it's very challenging for me. I'm sure it'll be challenging for the kids. Now I'm blushing. So that brings us to the end of Center 3. If you have any questions, again, you can lay out, you can lay out all 4 of these on the floor together, or you can set them out separately as individual time constraints happen. But if you have any questions, you can email us at mitchellelf@gmail.com. Thank you.